we go. Welcome everyone to the webinar, Top 10 Ways to Raise Your Vibe. This is Tammy Duncan with Epiphany Healing Arts. And, I want to tell you really quick about why I decided to do this webinar. I've had sort of the intuitive idea or the intuitive hit over the last few months to start doing regular free webinars for the autism community, but also anybody else who just feels drawn towards their own personal growth. And so I'm hoping to make this a common occurrence, maybe twice a month, maybe every week. I'm sort of leaving it in the flow. And yesterday's group healing was really important because one thing that showed up was about when we are in our joy and in our bliss, that is our time to go forth and then create. And it reminded me because I have been doing something really odd the last couple weeks. So in April, we held a retreat down in Carlsbad, California for an amazing group of women. And one of the things on the agenda that I had was to do a module on animal communication and autism communication, but to do that and connect it with going out on a boat on like a whale watching trip, and hopefully we would run into dolphins and whales and things like that. Well, something happened that was beyond my wildest dreams. We ended up in the midst of a megapod of dolphins. And I can't remember since I was a little girl even seeing dolphins in the wild on a boat. I've seen them from the beach. I've actually called them energetically and literally heard intuitively, yeah, we'll be there in 2 minutes. And then in 2 minutes I looked up and then there was a pod of like 30 dolphins on the beach, outside the beach. And I, was only in my car by myself in the parking lot, but I ran, and it's like this stimulation of intense joy. If there was a little girl named Tammy Duncan inside of me that has been hidden in there, that stimulated that little girl to come out and play. And that's what happened on this boat trip in Carlsbad. It's like my heart just like burst open with all the joy that it wanted to express into the world. I was crying. Other moms, other people from our retreat, they were crying. They felt such opening. And the dolphins played and played and played. And it's like we merged with their energy and we became playful. And there's videos on my Facebook. I'm not on the page, but on my Tammy Duncan Facebook that I posted, that you can hear. There's a little girl there's literally like an 8-year-old girl, a couple people down from me, and she's hoo-ha, and then you hear me, and you can't tell the difference between the two of us because we're both hoo-ha. So then, long story short, we get back, and it's like this joy is just with me, and I wanted to keep activating that within me and keep feeling it. And, you don't want to leave it. You don't want to come back down to like reality. But what came was that part of my own personal journey is actually going out in the physical, in the water, and communicating with the dolphins, being with them, feeling them, being in nature in that way. So I've been 2 more times since then, and it hasn't even been a month. It's been 3 weeks since that retreat. So I've been like every week. I went this week already on Monday. And both other times we were able to, the second time was another megapod of dolphins. Beautiful trip. There's a video of it on my Facebook as well. And then on Monday, I went by myself. The other times I went with groups. This time I went by myself. Random tourists were there, and I just sat by myself, open to talking to people, but my priority wasn't to be social. My priority was to use this as a way of me raising my vibration, tuning into the joy that's within me, and then learning from nature, learning from the dolphins, learning so much, getting vision. So it's turned into a very powerful, almost meditative practice for me. So then Monday, it wasn't a mega pod, but it was a pretty darn big pod, probably, I don't know, 100 plus dolphins playing and hunting and eating and it was pure bliss. And so then in our group healing, what showed up was like, when you feel that joy in your life like that, you need to then go out and create something. This is how you can then just allow your flow of creativity to flow and create something for the world. So I believe that this webinar was created based on the joy of the dolphins and the joy that I feel with them and the joy that I see with them in their lives. And so this is why we're doing this topic, and this is why there's a dolphin on it. So anyways, now let me talk for a moment. There we go. All right, let me move my thingy here. Sorry. Nope. All right, we're not moving my head. I can't find the mouse. Okay, so what is this high vibe? Okay. So I want you to understand, it's not about having a higher vibration than other people. It's not about, oh, I'm higher than you, I'm better than you. It's about harmony. It's about, you see, we can be in a room, we can have in our family, people that tend to like vibrate a little bit lower. They're working on programs of anger and victimhood and stress and worry and anxiety and things like that. And while we can sit there on our high horse and think that they need to change, what can we do to make ourselves more comfortable and to maintain our joy in life on a daily basis? And that is by working on our own self, on our own vibration, because when we work on our own self and our own stuff, we are able to eventually be around people that are living in those lower programs. And for a while it's hard because you sense and feel that, and it doesn't feel good from them. It doesn't feel good. But eventually you can step into more of a state of compassion and big picture understanding when you are around people that are vibing low like that. So instead of judging, oh my God, I can't be around them, it's so toxic, you can step into more of this state of like, wow, for them to be putting out the energy that they are, they must have a lot of pain buried under there. So it's about shifting in a different way. So the next part about that, so that's in being in harmony. So not expecting somebody else to change so that we're more comfortable, expecting ourselves to evolve to a state of compassion and understanding so that other energy doesn't bother us, because we understand that big picture of it all, that it truly is coming from somebody that, has pain. The next thing is to step out of a state of ego and into personal responsibility for the energetic signature that you are putting out into the world. So not being a busybody and worrying what everybody else is doing, only worrying about what you are doing and what your energy frequency is. Eventually, once you are really doing your energetic work, you are really shifting things and stepping into a state of compassion, there becomes your own signature vibration that comes out, and it's just healing for other people to be around. And that's happens for me a lot of times now. Not every time, because I have my moments of like yuck for sure. But like yesterday, when I was working with a client, as soon as we turned on the screen and like saw each other, she began to cry. And it was as if I had put out this vibration to her. It's safe, you can totally release it. And I hadn't even said anything except hi. And it's because there are times when I'm emitting this signature vibration that is in itself healing for other people to be around. But that is not for, like, I have done a tremendous amount of work. And as you can see with my dolphin trips and my own inner work, and I'm taking a singing class, and I'm attempting to do another class. And sometimes classes are hard when it's a hard thing to do. You want to procrastinate. But I'm actively, continually working on myself, because that is helping me to be more compassionate towards other people, and helping me to have that vibration out into the world too, that is good for people to be around. The other point that I want to make is that it's not a competition between being grounded or head in the clouds. Like, I've run across people that, when you're vibing at this really high level and you're in this state of joy, they're like, whoa, you need to ground. Okay. What that's about, that has nothing actually to do with you. That has to do with them being uncomfortable around your vibration, because your vibration stimulates them to have to work on themselves. So, granted, it's important to be grounded and expansive at the same time. That's the optimum level to strive to be towards. And one of the only ways truly that I feel that is when I do chakra dance. Or making like serious intentions, like after meditation, like, can I feel my feet? Where are my feet? Bringing energy all the way down and then up and then down, and then feeling this flow coming through, instead of doing just this upper chakra work, which a lot of us love to do, just upper chakra work, because that's where it's like, whoa, we're getting the visions. Oh my gosh, I talked to my dead grandma. All this cool stuff happens. But then you could take your dog on a walk and take a flying leap, because your head's in the clouds. But it's not a competition between one being better than the other, or one is too much, or whatever. It's about the individual vibration. And sometimes you might make people uncomfortable. And this happened at Autism One, was it last year? I made somebody really uncomfortable, and I wasn't even I was just being, I was existing. I had been doing energy work, and I was just being, and she's like, oh, you give me a headache. And I'm like, whoa, okay. And then when we tuned into it, both of us together, we realized that it had to do with my vibration and her ability to accept that and to harmonize with that. And it was too difficult for her to be in harmony with me. So what we did is I kept like a 10-foot distance, because she said, okay, I'm comfortable if you're 10 feet away from me, but if you're anywhere in closer, then she got a headache. So I didn't do anything for my vibration. I had her do some breathing exercises, and then I had her begin to raise her vibration by doing some visual imagery and things like that. And pretty soon she felt fantastic, and I could hug her, and we were in total harmony. But it wasn't about me, it was about her. All right. So high vibe is basically living your divinity every day. That's what it is. Having the intention to live your soul's most divine expression out into the world. It's not the anti-grounded. It's not this. It's joy, it's peace, it's compassion, it's love, it's unconditional love. It's all of those things. That's what raising your vibration will do. All right. So, first way. Now, you guys are probably going to think, especially from this first one, that, oh, she's going to tell us, like, okay, number 1, do yoga. Number 2, do meditation. Okay, this is not that kind of webinar. But I cannot tell you that it isn't important at least to do something. So the first way is to carve out 15 minutes twice a day just for you. This is just the simplicity of understanding that you are a priority in your own life, that you are not a martyr, you are not sacrificing of yourself for everybody else. You are just as important as your child, and you are just as important as your husband and your family. You are equally as important. One thing that comes up sometimes is this concept to remember, because many of us put so much into our children, that what would it be like if you treated yourself and loved yourself as deeply and pure as you do your child? What if you treated yourself like that? So that's what I'm asking you to do, is to just take that time. 15 minutes is, no. I mean, let's try to get a little bit longer. 20, 30 minutes. How much time can you get? How can you find that time and carve out in the morning and in the evening? I mean, whatever, afternoon, whatever, whenever you can get it. But try to have a pattern of time when you can have that time for yourself. Another tip that I have is for these nighttime thinkers, those people that are like, I got to do this, I got to go to Costco, oh my God, I forgot we're out of dog food, oh, the credit card expired on Amazon and I couldn't get the dog food. This was my thing yesterday. All these things you're trying to like keep in order and remember. At some point, you got to shut it down. You've got to close the book on the day and release yourself into dreamland, because you get a lot of healing work done in your sleep, both on the physical level, but also emotionally and spiritually. Many things can be fixed and healed all in your sleep time, in your dreams. Some of you may be aware of your dreams and know that this is happening, or others may just feel it when you wake up and be like, you know what, that thing that bugged me so bad before I went to bed, like, what was it again? Or, oh, it's not bugging me quite as much. But anyways, it's important for you to carve out. So this phrase that I have here is, I've done all I can do for today. Shut it down. And then be in bed, doing what you do, making love to your husband, relaxing, meditating, taking that time to yourself to not think, to not plan, to just be. All right. Way number 2, create a sacred space in your home that is for you to enjoy. Keyword you. This is really important. I'm working on creating a sacred space in many parts of my house. I wish I could take you on a tour. Maybe one day I will take you on a tour. I got to clean it up first. But my living room has paintings that have it's got many things, but paintings that have called my name. I have a painting of multiple mandalas, so beautiful, that was in a healing room at this place called Chakra Shack in Laguna Beach. And as she was giving me some weirdo tarot card reading, and trust me, it was weird, I kept going, oh my God, I'm paying money for this. But then this painting kept popping at me, these mandalas. It's like energetically they were spinning, and they were coming in and doing healing with me, while she was like, yeah, I think you need to work on your relationship, and I'm just like, oh my God, $45 later. But I had the intuitive hit that, no, I need to see this lady. She had nothing to offer me, but her room that she did the healing work did this in this beautiful painting that's very, very healing. And then another thing is, I have a picture of a white lion above my piano, and white lion is my spirit animal, one of my spirit animals. And so I look at it and it's like, boom, yeah, I'm reminded of that divine warrior strength and softness and motherly love at the same time. And then there's crystals, different places. I've got a Buddha fountain in there, and with a light, and I have music, and anytime I can hit the player, and it's got this energy clearing music on it that literally will clear the energy of the home. And so that's just one room. Yeah, that's the living room. The family room, we've got dolphin pictures. I've got rose quartz crystals. My daughter has put crystals, different parts of the kitchen and the family room that she felt was balancing the energy of the home. So I let her, she did, I gave her access to my crystals to do that. My office has the map back there with the plotting of the golden grid, of the 3D grid, Christ consciousness grid that we're working on. Sorry about the boxes, but so what I'm doing, my bedroom, there's crystals, you know what I mean? So I've done things in the home that when I walk in, it's like, I have the tools that I need in order to shift the vibe of the home. Somebody comes into the house all cranky or whatever, I have my rose water that I spray. I don't know where it is. I think somebody stole it. Yeah, because people steal it in my house because they know that when Pudge, my pug, barks too much, there's an energy imbalance that he's sensing. So they spray the rose water around him and he stops the weird barking and then goes and lays down and goes to sleep. So we have all of these things. So what I'm asking you to do is to look, and even if you could just have a little area, even if it's one little table in a room that has things that are very special to you, things that make you feel loved, that at home, and yourself. Things that make you tune in and connect to your divine being. Maybe it's crystals, maybe it's a picture of an angel, maybe it's a picture of Jesus or Buddha or, one of the gods or goddesses. It's whatever is personal to you. Maybe it's a special note from your grandmother, the last card that you got from her before she passed away. Whatever those things are, they're special to you. Create some space like that. And maybe you'll be like me and try to transform the whole house. But what happens is I have a teenager that will go like, I don't like that. So what vibes with me may not vibe with her. So we also have to create harmony. Another part is, a diffuser with essential oils and things like that. That's Cookie making himself known in our webinar today. All right. The next thing is to remember to have. No. Everybody across the country does not even start. Okay, he'll stop in a little bit. So to have faith, this is a hard thing to do when you feel like you're in a state of suffering. But we need to let that go. That's a different vibration of seeing yourself or feeling suffering, as opposed to what I said before, which was like seeing the big picture of the why of things or why these things happen. So faith means trusting that you have all that you need, that you're provided for, and that you don't need to worry. So it's so funny, like when I was writing this, it was like, yeah, this means all you control freaks out there. And, I'm a charter member. The jig is up. It's time to start letting go, trying to manage everything, trying to figure everything out, trying to know what's going to happen. We need to have faith in our hearts that what happens is what's supposed to happen because we created it and because it is for our highest good. So it's trusting that we are taken care of. And that's a hard thing to do, but it's definitely doable. So what I ask you to do on this is just to check in with yourself. Where am I at with my faith right now? Am I trying to control and manage and know everything ahead of time or figure everything out? Or am I able to just trust that it's all okay? Even if it sucks in the moment, but it's all okay in the end. So this is more of like a daily check-in with yourself. Are you worrying a lot? Are you trying to control a lot? Are you having anxiety? We've got to let that stuff go. Okay, number 4, surrender your fears to the universe. So this is, like I said, this is faith's best friend. Because faith and surrender go so much hand in hand together. But it really is that, okay, I'm not going to hold on so tight to my worries or my concept in my mind that things have to be a certain way all the time. I can just let that go and surrender that. Surrender the need to know, surrender the need to figure it out, surrender the anxiety, surrender the worry, surrender the control. So this is your checkpoint too. Are you serving to feed negativity by your worries and fears? If you are, look in the mirror and what do you see? What can you let go of? These things also come in layers. Maybe we feel like we've let go of everything. And then it's like the universe brings us a present. And sometimes that present hurts. And you're like, dang it, I thought I had cleared that. I thought I was over that. And then here you are back in that little crud again. And you know why? It's because you didn't get it all. There's more there. There's more layers there. My brother's been passed away for, you know what? As of, what day is it today? Today is the 13th. Tomorrow is the anniversary, and it will be 28 years tomorrow. And you'd think that in 28 years, I would have grieved all that you can grieve. Everything would be released, and I would be at peace with everything. And I thought I was, until somebody posted on Facebook this thing about my brother's death. My brother committed suicide. He's like, this guy posted on the high school Facebook page, hey, do you guys remember this guy? I can't remember his name, but I can't remember if he killed his girlfriend or he killed himself. But I think he drove like a truck or whatever. As soon as I read it, I knew he was talking about my brother, who did not kill his girlfriend, by the way. But this rage inside of me came. And it was like all that stuff from high school that I'd never dealt with before came up, and I was just like, I hate him. I want to kick his butt, and I wanted to come through the screen, and I wanted to like PM him and be like, who the hell do you think you are? Okay, obviously, and I'm evolved enough to know, obviously, he pushed a button. He brought me a gift to find some of those little tender spots on the inside of me, the sensitive part of me that remembers back in the day when my brother died. I went back to school and everybody gossiped about it. They said he was on drugs. They said he did this. They said he did that. They never had the story right. And I never felt like correcting it because I thought it's none of your damn business anyways. And I was 16 at the time, and I was just like, people, go away. I hate you. And so this guy hit it. He hit the button. And so I was like a good week, 2 weeks of like working through all of that and releasing. And there's still some left. I can feel it because when I think of his post, and he did take it down when I said, it's totally inappropriate. You have no idea what family members are actually reading that, and you're trying to dig up their old pain and trauma, like take it down, is what I posted. And then he sent me a note, and I'm so sorry, Tammy, and da-da-da-da-da. He goes, oh, and by the way, what really happened? And I just like, psst, actually, no, what I said was, it is not my job to satisfy your idle curiosity, period. And then that was it. And it's not. And so we are given these opportunities that are not so freaking fun to dig back in and see what's left and continue. And most of us are aware of what's still left, but sometimes you'll come up with things that are still left that you thought were done. And it's a gift because, oh gosh, once I can like really 100% clear that thing, it's going to feel so good, and I know it. So it's about the universe triggering us to begin to surrender that and to be like, you know what? All of that, like that guy, it was really about his own curiosity. It wasn't about, he didn't mean to hurt me or trigger me or whatever, but he did provide as the divine messenger that opportunity for me. So having faith that, and having faith that we're going to be brought these opportunities in the right timing, in divine timing, and then to be able to surrender all the crap that we hold on to the universe, clearing it all out. The next thing is to be in the now. Focus your thoughts on the present. We can learn so much from our animal kingdom about being in the now. They don't sit around and worry about stuff. Those dolphins out there in the ocean, they're not like, oh my gosh, what if there's not a fish out there for me to eat? They are just going and playing and jumping and swimming and fish, and then pushing them up, jumping, catching them in the air. They are in the moment. They are not worrying. They are not they are not with thinking about something else and distracted. I believe one of the biggest opportunities that we have right now for growth in humanity is about being present with each other. Being, this thing right here, in some ways, is a huge blessing because we can connect, we can communicate, we can learn so much. But as with all things, we're in a polar world, a world of polarity, where things are light and beautiful and amazing, and sometimes within that exists the real darkness. And the dark part of this is its distracting us from being in the present moment, from looking at our children in the eyes. I often wonder if our children diagnosed with autism aren't just modeling, with their lack of eye contact, our lack of presence with them. Something to ponder. So focus your thoughts on the present, on the now. Often I hear stories of what happened. My child was injured, or this happened, or that happened back then. And I want to say, where's he at now? Oh, well, because they're living so much in the trauma that they've brought all of that energy into the now. They can't even see, oh, you know what? Actually, he's doing really well. Okay. So we need to focus ourselves into the now, work on our eye contact with each other, our connection, because it truly is, the eyes are the windows to the soul. If somebody's avoiding your eye contact all the time, they don't want you to see them. They are hiding from you. They are blocking you from seeing who they really are. Why? Because it's scary. Maybe they're in pain. Maybe they have trauma and they're trying to hide. Maybe they have something to hide. Whatever. But they know that when you truly look them in the eyes, you can see them. And so in order to be seen and be connected to, we need to see and connect as well. We can only do that if we're in the present moment. All right, next thing is to be a receiver of infinite blessings. So this is this flow of giving and receiving. Our next one is to be a giver. So I'm giving you a sneak peek. So we're probably going to do them all at the same time. But to be a receiver, many people don't receive. They don't receive love. They don't receive compliments. They don't receive gifts. They feel like they have to even things out all the time. Oh, you can't buy me dinner. Okay, then I'll do the tip. Or no, I'm going to get next time. It's like they're trying to constantly balance and having difficulty just receiving a gift from somebody, even if it's a gift of a compliment. And so when we open to receiving, we open that whole flow. So we may be like, I can't make any money. I have no clients booking, da-da-da-da-da. And then somebody gives you a compliment. You're like, no, it's fine. Well, you're in a state of blocking. You're not receiving. So receive love from people. That random hug that your child wants to give you, instead of like, no, I need my space right now. Just allow it in, feel the love that they want to give. Sometimes just the act of you receiving something from somebody is a gift to them. Sometimes people just really need to give. They just feel it bubbled up in their heart, like, oh, you know what? She would really love this thing. I'm going to send it to her. And and if you say, no, 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 it's okay, I'm fine, well, then you've, number one, blocked your receipt of that, but you've also blocked their ability to give to you. So you've put up 2 blocks there. And they may have had this just love connected to that they needed to give you, whether it be a compliment, a gift, something, anything. It could be anything. So ask yourself, are you blocking yourself from receiving the good things, that the abundance that life has to offer? Do your belief systems get in the way? Sometimes we have this belief that we are not worthy, and we are not worthy of good things. We are not worthy of success, and that you can track it back. When was that created? Well, sometimes in childhood, most of the time in childhood. But it could be an ex-partner or somebody, and you believed it. You believed, even though you didn't like it, you somehow you bought into that belief. There was a buy-in on your part, and you took it and you imprinted it in yourself, and that became part of who you are. Tammy, I'm not worthy of success. And then you began blocking the eternal divine flow of abundance. So look at those things too, and you can release those. Be a receiver of infinite blessings, and then turn right around and be a giver of infinite blessings. Are you keeping track of stuff? Surrender that old nasty habit and give openly and freely. When you are an infinite receiver and giver, it's not always going to match up with the person. Oh, I gave my husband a hug. Well, then later he's going to give me a hug. No, you can give your husband a hug, and then you might receive a hug from some random stranger on the street that just is like, you know what, I think you're a really great person, and wants to give you a hug. So it's not always person to person. It's the universe giving and receiving. You may give a beautiful donation to a nonprofit, and it was hard for you to give it. And then another time you may receive just this beautiful something from somebody else that's not money, but it may just be a compliment, or it may just be somebody serving as a divine messenger and saying something that moves your heart, and that's a gift to you. And so there's no tracking. There's no numbers. There's no this equals that, or it's from this person or that person. If it's in your heart, you give it, and without expectation of receiving, but wise knowing that this is how the world turns, this is how the universe works, but knowing that it's not your job to decide how it shows up or when it shows up. Just the faith and trust that it will, because it always will. So just give with an open heart, with no expectations. The expectations is what will get you messed up every time. All right, way number 8. Forgive all that you have held so tightly to, all of that crap. He did this, he hurt me, he abused me, he raped me, he this, he that. He is mean. My mother did this. My mother did that. You know, I had to raise myself because blah, blah, blah. Forgive that stuff. Even if they are an asshole now, even if they are doing that jerky behavior still, forgive them, and then forgive yourself. Why forgive yourself? You didn't do it. You didn't ask for that. Forgive yourself because you held on to the anger and the hate too long. It's natural to feel human emotions of anger and hate. I have no problem with that. But they need to flow through. I felt them, I expressed them without hurting anybody, and now they're gone. Forgive yourself for holding them tight and protecting them because you were attached to your story. When you are attached to your story, you are not able to move. You are stuck. You are frozen in time. You are not able to be in the present, in the now, or be in the flow. But when you can release, yeah, that happened, into a state of awesome forgiveness, forgiving yourself, the people, the person, situation, and the universe, because we get mad at God, like, why did he let this thing happen to me? Forgive all of that. Then you can step in and begin to be in a state of flow and start to live your dreams. But if you're still stuck on your story, if you are still an angry warrior mom, and I'm not talking about the kind that just educates other moms and tries to make change in legislation, but if you are, holding resentment and sending nasty, nasty energy to other people, then you need to really spend your days on number 8, on being an awesome forgiver. Awesome forgiver. And never forget about yourself. It's the one that gets left. We forgive the other people, but then we don't forgive ourselves. Like when we realize, I held on to that thing for like 10 years, or I held on to that thing for like 30 years. That's why this guy came across Facebook that pissed me off about my brother's thing. I had held some stuff in there. I protected that little justification of my anger, justification of why I didn't like high school, why I could never be part of the group in high school. It was my justification. You know why? I justified it by saying, you know what? They all judged my brother and gossiped about him, so screw him. So then now the category is like everybody from high school sucks. Well, let's see. I graduated 89, right? So that's a long time. So that guy poked his finger in that little tender spot. And now it's my job to be like, oh, I held that a long time. That's a big weight. It's time to release that. Time to forgive that. And forgive all those people for just being stupid 16, 17-year-olds that love to gossip. And they didn't know what happened. They wanted to know because they're nosy. And quite frankly, I was really darn nosy at that age too. And a little gossiper. So who am I to judge? We judge when we're not on the other side of it. So all of that stuff is prime material for forgiveness. What prime material do you have for forgiveness? Next thing, remember, you are strong. You are not a weakling. You did not get to this point in your life by being a wuss. You are strong. You have handled stuff. You have managed stuff. You have done good things in this life. Never remember that you never forget that you are strong. You are not a victim. If you are the opposite of strong and feeling in the victim mode all the time, you need to start doing things and stepping into this area of strength and looking at times in your life when you were strong and channeling and bringing that energy into the present. Yes, when that happened, I was strong. When my brother died, that next day, I went and told everybody. My parents couldn't do it. I was strong. I was really strong. People yelled at me and said I was lying, and I was strong. I said, it's true, come to my house. And many other times too, whatever in life, we've been able to muster up strength. So if you are feeling in the victim mode, everybody's against you, you need to look at those times in your life and channel that energy back into right now and be strong. And that strong doesn't mean mean. It doesn't mean I'm fighting people. It means, hey, this is me. This is who I am. And that's that. Love me or hate me, it doesn't matter. You're not going to hurt me by your opinions of me. Because I am strong in who I am. All right. Last thing. I have a feeling this one came from the dolphins. Create the joy you have sought outside of yourself for so long. Okay, so I am like the queen of this thing. We used to go to Hawaii. There's like a couple years. We went to Hawaii every year for like 3 or 4 years. And every time I would be like, I want to move here so bad. Home sucks. Corona, California, man, there's like nothing vibing there. They don't get me. Nobody gets me. But oh, the big island of Hawaii, woo, they vibing really high there. Yeah, they don't like white people, but that's okay. They'll like me because I'm like, like crystals and stuff. And, I honor the land. I'm not like, just any other person from the mainland coming over. I had this whole scenario convinced in my mind about how joy existed for me in Hawaii, and that I'm unable to create joy and have joy here in my life here in Corona, California. I learned that that was not true. And actually, I probably learned it quite recently, just last year, when I built the labyrinth in the backyard of my home and realized I had created such an intensive sacred space there. Why would I ever want to leave? I have the most amazing sacred space in my backyard. So amazing. What can compare with that? And this is my place here. And so we spend a lot of time and effort looking for joy and happiness outside of ourselves, when actually it's about what we create within ourselves. Did I freeze up here? I hope you guys can still hear audio because it looks like my face froze. So remember that you create your experiences and everything you've been through. So it's important for you to understand that the creation of happiness and joy is not outside of you. It's the creation that you create from within. So when I go, I don't think you can see my camera, the thing here, but when I go and and with those dolphins, they remind me of the joy that I can create. They are experiencing joy, and they remind me of the joy that I already have on the inside. All right, the very last thing is I want to invite all of you to the retreat, July 7th through the 10th. In beautiful Sedona, Arizona. We are going to go high vibe, you guys. It is your time to shine. And we have all kinds of beautiful experiences ready for you to be able to do amazing things and to become who you are to become in your life. My camera somehow went goodbye, but it looks like I still have, let me go back to screen share. Looks like I still have my, whatchamacallit, here we go. Right there. Looks like we still have my audio. So anyways, this retreat, I have all kinds of things planned. We're going to do chakra dance, which is just this beautiful, beautiful practice. It's like dancing your soul's dance. We're going to go to Angel Valley, and we're going to walk the labyrinth, and we're going to walk the vortexes and tune in with our angels. We're going to do a releasing fire ceremony, work on forgiveness, work on our belief systems, all kinds of beautiful, great things. So I want to invite you to come. There's an early bird sign up thing before June something. You get $100 off of the pricing. You'll want to sign up right away to make sure you can get a hotel room, because at some point they cut off the special pricing for the hotels. So you want to get in on that right away. Thank you so much. Let me just check to see, does anybody have questions or anything like that? Let's see. If you do, please put them in, and I'm going to look. Sorry, Kim says it's a little glitchy. I apologize for that. This is how Wi-Fi works. But there's a Q&A thing at the top, so if you have questions, please send them over. I'll wait just a moment. But I will just go ahead and stop our recording and thank all of our viewers that are listening later and watching. And I want to thank you for watching. So have a beautiful day. Mwah.